Now, what about the Jamaica National Wrestling?
Yeah, so one of my athletes from the school that I was coaching at in Kentucky, he was Jamaican descent. His name's Aaron Johnson.
Okay.
He's a 3-time NAI All-American, so he's a stud for sure, heavyweight. But he was telling me he's Jamaican descent, and I was like, hey man, like you can wrestle for Jamaica's team. He's like, you know, I've actually always thought about that. And so then we kind of just like got the cogs moving that direction, and then worked with the Jamaican Olympic Association, and now we have like 5-6 wrestlers and a bunch more coming up. And so we were able to travel to World Championships in Serbia a few years ago. We were able to go to New York and compete in the Bill Farrell, which is one of America's top tournaments. We were able to go to Dominican Republic for the Caribbean Games, to Canada for the Commonwealth Games. He was in England, and I think to Panama for the Caribbean Games.
All right, so we got another episode of Adversity Kings. Special guest today. Introduce yourself, brother.
Name's Kegan Calkins.
Kegan Calkins.
Yes,
See,
sir.
I didn't want to fuck it up. That's why I told you.
No, it's okay. Everyone else does.
So it was like Kegan. I was like, all right, let me go. So Kegan
Yeah.
Calkins.
Yes, sir.
Right? Awesome, bro. So where were you born and raised?
I was born in Greeley, Colorado. Grew up over there for about 9 years. Moved here when I was 9.
Yeah.
So Wheaton, Illinois. Grew up the rest of the time there.
Yeah. So you were Illinois State champ then?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
And
Once
then
upon a time.
how many times?
Once upon a time, I said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now, how close is, what part of Colorado? Greeley?
Greeley, yeah.
How close is that to Grand Junction?
Grand Junction. So my dad actually grew up in Grand Junction.
Oh, for real?
But it's like, Grand Junction's up at the mountains, but we're
Yeah.
more like kind of near like northern Colorado.
Okay, cool. Yeah, one of my best managers, a couple of them are from, like 2 of my best managers are from Grand Junction,
Nice.
Colorado.
Yeah.
So they moved out here year and a half ago was one of them, and then just about 4 or 5 months ago the other one.
Yeah, it's super pretty over there. My grandparents live up there.
Yeah, they love it. They love it out there, elk hunting and everything. So what brought you to Wheaton, Illinois?
My parents split up when I was like 9, so they moved here. But
Yeah.
my mom's from here. She grew up all the way out here, so
Stay with your mom?
yeah, stayed with my mom.
Cool.
My grandparents out here, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, similar story to me. I split up. My parents split up when I was 6. Stayed with my mom. She was from Pennsylvania. And the year that I wrestled 2 years when I was young. I wrestled when I was like 8, 9. So I was probably like 60, 70 pounds, like when wrestling didn't matter, like head toss worked on everybody.
Yep.
And then I wrestled my 8th grade year in Western PA, and that was the hardest wrestling.
Yeah, PA is no joke.
Yeah, that was the hardest wrestling I've ever experienced. So you get into Wheaton, Illinois. You're 9, 10 years old. Are you wrestling then?
Yeah, so I started right when I got out here.
Okay.
My grandpa is a really good coach. He was in the Illinois Hall of Fame for coaching.
Yeah.
All my uncles wrestled. My uncle wrestled at Purdue.
Does Illinois have a solid wrestling program?
Yeah, we're one of the better ones in the country for sure.
Like out of the top 10 states, like
Yeah,
would you
we're
say
like-
they're up there?
Yeah, like top 5.
Top 5?
It's like Illinois, PA, New Jersey, California, Ohio.
So
and I'll go back and forth.
so if you went like 1 to 5, how would you rank the states?
I'm gonna be biased and say Illinois, but we always as number
Illinois
one.
number 1?
Well, we always win like the nationals for freestyle and Greco.
Yeah.
So we always win that. Like I think we won like 17, 16 years in a row now for Greco.
Yeah.
Which is like upper body stuff.
Freestyle is the one you do in high school.
So that's folk
or
style.
no, folk style. Yeah,
So folk style, but like we win that a lot. We're always really competitive, but like I mean California and Pennsylvania are always like really tough.
Yeah.
So maybe like PA maybe 1, Illinois maybe 1 or 2, and then California is always good. So
Okay, and then what about Iowa? You hear a lot too.
I was on the come up for sure. Like when I was wrestling, like we kind of stomped Iowa in high school, but
Yeah.
now like I coached some like the cadet dual team, so it's like 16 and under.
Yeah.
Illinois team, and like Iowa did not come to mess around. So
How did Roman Bravo Young do yesterday?
he won. He pinned his kid. So my brother actually, my adopted brother, he's the 141 for Iowa.
Yeah.
So he's ranked number 2 in the country right now.
And who did he wrestle?
He wrestled Bo Bartlett, and
How-
then he beat him 4-1. So
Okay.
he's undefeated.
Did
still.
Spencer Lee wrestle last night?
Yeah, he tech falled his kid.
Oh Jesus.
So, but Iowa lost, but Pennsylvania.
You know he's right out of Western PA. Like
Yeah.
we're same age, same like. I don't remember wrestling him, but I wrestled. I remember like spar wrestling or whatever with a kid named Mickey Philippi.
Mm-hmm.
I was lined up for a match against Luke Pletcher.
Yeah, I wrestled Luke Pletcher.
I was lined up for a match and I hurt. Like we were at the matches and I don't know what we were at, but I hurt my neck and I didn't wrestle. So, but I remember came up with him. There was another kid that was really good in our age and weight in that area. It was Cam Coy.
Mm-hmm.
He was all of these crazy wrestlers, and I took it for granted then. But as I look back, I'm like, even that year of wrestling, like when I mess around with the guys at jiu-jitsu,
Mm-hmm.
like unless you're like a wrestler like you or you put a couple years of wrestling in here, you're not like, if I'm trying, like you're not getting me like a takedown or something.
It's
like
funny
that.
how
like just that 1 year of wrestling, even in that really good area, is like I feel like it was like 2 years.
Yeah, for sure. And especially when people have no experience, they have like low confidence to shoot.
Yeah.
Or like anything that they're not willing to get their face.
Now,
in the
I do
mix.
have low confidence to shoot because of the gi. Like I'm not really good with the head placement when it comes to choking, but I can tell even just with messing around with you a little bit, really good head placement, like swiveling to the other sides and everything like that, where I wouldn't feel confident of immediately like going in on a choke.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
especially
like,
jiu-jitsu, like you pay for it if you take a bad shot.
Yeah,
because then someone's on your neck.
But I feel like somebody would have to be real high level to finish you with a choke on a shot.
I got finished like my first like month there. It was like women, children,
everybody was okay.
Everybody's stomping me.
Well, you probably made an adjustment to your game now
Yeah.
because when we rolled and you shot in a couple shots, I was like, I don't know if it's more of like a pulling the neck up. So like when they do reach down, it's like it's hard. I don't know, because when you think of that choke, I think of immediately just trying to throw that arm up to that following shoulder and bringing my head up so I'm not getting choked out. But man, wrestling is such a beautiful sport. And I was in Nebraska for 9 months, and I got in touch with some, obviously not Jordan Burroughs, I wish, but I got in touch with some of the wrestlers there, and I was trying to bring them into the office and do some work with them. I've always been fascinated with it's a love-hate thing though, because bro, 6 minutes of live jiu-jitsu is not like 6 minutes of live wrestling.
Yeah,
bro.
no, wrestling's rough, especially like the training for it. It's like 2 hours just like nonstop, just like getting after it. So like you build up, you do so much work for 6 minutes or 7 minutes.
I would say wrestlers are probably some of the freakish like athletes that I've ever met. Like,
yeah, there's some weird like ability, like weird athletics. Like
weird
we can't like,
flip.
catch a ball
Yeah,
very well,
dude.
but like I could do a backflip and like
But
crawl on like my hands.
Yeah,
and,
'cause, like,
roll my neck.
I'd say like once a week or so we'd play dodgeball, but it wasn't normal dodgeball on the mats, bro. It's like everyone was doing backflips and like splits in the air, back onto the mat. You know what I mean? It just the response time was insane.
But then like you watch them play basketball and you're like, these guys are not athletic at all.
I loved like the Dagestanian like basketball.
Oh right,
Have you
where
ever
they
seen-
run and carry it.
Yeah, and they like tackle the shit out of each other.
Yeah, there's like no rules.
It's like it's like oh, it's crazy. Now, so back into the wrestling though. So you're coming up. Illinois is a top ranked program. So you start 9 or 10, and then like what was that journey like, being young, wrestling, and everything like that?
So my grandpa coached me for a long time, and I sucked for like a while.
Yes.
Like I didn't
It's
have a
usually how it
positive
goes.
record for. Like I know some kids like they start off and they start winning, so they love it. But like
Yeah.
I lost. I had a negative record my first 2 years. My third, like I only made it to like kids state one time. I lost my first match. Like high school.
Yeah.
Negative record freshman year, like just like super undersized. I was like 90 pounds freshman year, wrestling 103 varsity, and like just like couldn't like win very much. And then like just started like kind of letting go of other sports and just really focusing on wrestling. And then I'm blessed to have like really good kids clubs programs in the area. Like I was a product of Izzy Style Wrestling, so they helped me a ton. Like I grew so much there, and then.
My buddy, his son wrestles around here somewhere. I got to see if he's got pictures of. So this guy technically was like my regional manager when I first started selling insurance 6 years ago. We were both in Pennsylvania. We were both in Pittsburgh, and we both moved out here to become franchise owners. So I don't know if you know this school, but both his sons wrestle, and that's got to be around here somewhere.
Yeah, I know Bolingbrook.
Yeah, so I don't know if they wrestle for. I don't know if you see their hoodies, see like what program they wrestle for. You can scroll over and stuff like that.
Oh, Barrington. Oh, yeah, Barrington Broncos. Yeah, I mean, like, every town has,
Okay.
like, good, like, they have a good kids club, which is, like, why Illinois is so good. It's because every, like, suburb of Illinois is, like, a mini city kind of thing. So, like, every area has, like, a good kids club. But
what would you say is, like, the best high school out of Illinois when it comes to wrestling?
the best high school right now, I mean, I know Joliet Catholic just won. Like, we did, like, a best of Illinois kind of duels within Illinois. Joliet Catholic won a lot. St. Charles East has a really good program. When I was growing up, or when I was in high school, we were the best ones. Montini Catholic, we were 7-time in a row state champs. So we won state my senior year.
Yeah.
Oak Park River
Montini?
Forest was,
That's like the really crazy, crazy expensive Catholic school, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
So I went there for 1 year. My senior year, I actually left I went to Wheaton North High School.
Okay.
So I left there my senior year. We won state there.
They didn't make you try to sit? I know when you transfer high school
They
sometimes.
tried, but we just got a little sketchy with it. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
That's
just made
cool.
it work. But
What weight did you wrestle?
I wrestled 126 my senior year.
Okay.
But I wrestled 103,
I feel like it's
106,
a hard.
113, 126.
What would you say is the hardest weight? I feel like they're all hard, but what would you say?
I feel like once you get to like that middle range of like kids who are strong and starting to become men, but also like small enough where they only wrestle.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, you get to, like, 184, a little bit bigger. Like, those kids play football. They do other
Yeah.
stuff. But, like, when you get to, like, 152 to 126,
Bro.
120, that's all we can do.
Yes.
Like, we can't play other sports.
Yes.
So, it's like you got to wrestle full year.
Yes. Yeah, bro. Absolutely insane. How did who won the overall tournament, Penn State versus Iowa?
Penn State won the duel. So, Penn State won. So, the national tournament's in March.
So what they just did last night was
That was just a dual meet.
That was just a dual meet?
Mhm.
So technically Penn State won that meet then?
Yeah, Penn State's number 1, Iowa's 2.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah, we'll see in the team race, I guess.
Yeah. So when will they meet up again? March?
March, yeah. So it'll just be like the whole NCAA tournament. And then
Okay.
each wrestler will, like, they score points based on their placement.
Now, is Roman Bravo Young a 4-time college national champ?
I think he's won 2.
Just 2?
Yeah.
I think I did a wrestling camp with a guy down in Arkansas. I want to say it was Pat Smith,
Mhm.
and I think he was a 4-time national champ out of Oklahoma.
Yeah, they're out there for sure. There's
And it
only
was-
a couple. But
There's like only a couple, and I don't know if does that ring a bell?
kind of. I feel like I know Pat Smith. I
Smith.
don't know the exact accomplishments of each one.
Yeah, brother. And because when I wrestled, crazy story. So like my parents had a bunch of money, and then they both went to jail, and we went like into extreme poverty. But before, like growing up, before they split up when I was like 6, and they had all the money, I was on a private wrestling team in Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
So we would fly like from Arkansas. It's like Arkansas, you probably think is like a bullshit. Like they probably suck at wrestling, but we would fly to like compete.
Yeah.
And it was weird because they had like the team I was on had a private jet. It was really
That's
weird.
crazy.
It was really
Yeah.
weird. Yeah, it was really. But the dude that owned the team fucking hired like one of the best guys. He had Pat Smith down there. It's called the Mighty Blue Jays or something down there in Arkansas. But I remember the wrestling practices, even as a young kid, were insane. Bro.
Yeah.
Just I can think back to some of like the worst days in my life where it was like when we were training for like a bigger tournament, and they'd say, "Hey, look, for practice today, we're gonna live wrestle for 30 minutes."
Mm-hmm.
And like you weren't like allowed to like stop, like, which I know that doesn't sound like that long. Like jiu-jitsu, you could probably roll 30 minutes, but it's like you're not sitting there and waiting for a position, dude.
Yeah.
You're constantly fighting.
Yeah, and you can't fight off your back. Like you don't have offense off your back. Like you can't go there.
Yeah.
You get taken down, you're losing. We used to do this practice at so I went to Oregon State. We used to do this practice. Just say like go till the other guy says quit.
Yeah.
So you just go until the other guy says stop.
Yeah.
So like you can just beat the hell out of somebody until they eventually just like have to give up.
Yeah.
So like we would go for hour and a half, 2.5 hours. Like you're just beating someone up until like they like a lot of them have no like a lot of pride, so they're just not gonna go. They're not gonna say stop.
Yeah. No.
So
There's
especially
no
like
way.
freshmen, like I remember my first time I ever did that, I was getting stomped by one of my buddies. Eventually became my buddy, but at that
Yeah.
moment I was like, dude, I hate you. Please stop.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm not gonna tap out in front of the coaches. So I just like eventually just got stomped for like an hour and a half, 2
Yeah.
hours, and then he was like, okay, we're done.
This kid's he has a really good shuck. He works here. I don't know what team. I don't know if you recognize much. I'm going to keep doing this to you the
no
whole
worries.
time.
I don't recognize him, but
The teams, but he's
Preseason, yeah.
I tried to get him to come to jiu-jitsu, but he had a really bad shoulder injury, so he's worried. He's never done jiu-jitsu, and I'm like, dude, listen, wrestling will protect you enough.
Yeah.
Where it's like, and if you start to feel something weird with your shoulder, you'll tap out, and it's like you're not going to blow your
yeah,
shoulder
I feel
out.
like you don't get hurt until like you're just trying to be too prideful at
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu and then like not tapping, but I tap almost all.
And a lot of these guys, I think these guys, like this guy doesn't realize, because like he was showing me the move, like where he's like, somebody was just like running a crazy half Nelson on him, and he just let the arm run back opposed to turning over.
Yeah.
So his arm just ran back.
I know
and was
some
like,
people that like they have those like joints like that and they like get away with it for a long time, but
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, there's some long-term damage you do
Yes.
to yourself.
But you won't see a lot of like a lot of these guys don't run like with a front headlock system that you would in like in wrestling, where you're
Yeah.
you know what I mean, where you're doing the like you were showing us the other night, bouncing their head off the mat and everything like that to take the back, and it's like a lot of them it's really jiu-jitsu. It's like the people that give me the most hard time is the ones that do have that blended style.
Mm-hmm.
Because then it's like because I don't know a significant amount of jiu-jitsu, but it defeats everything where it's like somebody's doing a sit out and they're grabbing on the wrist and they're
Yeah.
tucking back in, and it's like this is going to be hard because now they know a little bit of jiu-jitsu, they know a little bit of wrestling, and it's
Yeah,
like
I was
a
showing
whole
like the
different-
bounce the head and go, and
Yeah.
everyone was like, "Why would you bounce the head? Why don't you just take the back?" I'm like, "No, this is for if they don't let you take the back." And
Yeah.
they're like, they'll let me. And I'm like, "All right."
Yeah, roll against a wrestler and see how that turns out. But I try to get a lot of these guys, especially as we start to diversify and get more wrestlers in here. There's something about it I just absolutely love. It's a love-hate
Yeah.
thing. So you're coming up in high school. When did you start to notice some success?
After I was ranked 6th in the state my sophomore year, but I ended up not making it down. So that was again like another.
Mhm.
I was like doing good, but it didn't make it happen at the end. So then junior year, I spent the whole summer wrestling. Did real well at like Fargo Nationals.
Yeah.
So that's like the national tournament at the end of the year.
Yeah.
In the summer, so it's like the biggest tournament in the country.
And you did folk style?
That one's freestyle Greco. So I started.
Is that the one
doing
where you can wear shorts like jiu-jitsu?
That's the one where it's like Olympic styles.
Okay.
So like I did really well there, and then senior year, made it down. Transferred high schools. Made it downstate, one state.
Yeah. And that was when you transferred
to Montini. Yeah.
Montini. You won state at Montini.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a different class or?
Yeah, it was 2A.
Okay.
And then it was also like we also jumped to like.
Now, when you wrestle state, is it for 2A or is there like 2A state 3, or is it just state in general?
1A, 2A, 3A.
Okay.
So it's 3 classes. So I was in 3A before, doing really well, dropped to 2A. I mean, I still think I would have beat the other 3A.
Yeah,
guy.
who's
the
the 3A guy at your weight?
He was Johnny Jimenez, so he was a 4-time state champ.
Yeah.
He went to Wisconsin. But, I thought I was doing
Have you
really
stayed
well
in touch with him? Do you know?
I never really
No?
talked to him like
Okay.
that, but I knew some people. I knew a lot of the people in the area, but
Yeah,
he was good, but I thought I was doing pretty good too. So senior year, like we dove in. Montini just like took us we went around the country to all these big tournaments. We were facing number 1 team in the country. We were ranked number 3 in the country at the time, so like our whole team was really good. So I think just being in that environment and like the training that we did, I believed like at that moment I was like I couldn't be beaten by anyone.
Yeah.
So, and then that worked out really well, and ended up getting a scholarship. And then
What was your go-to style and strategy?
I like upper body stuff a lot, so like underhooks, 2-on-1s.
Into like hip and head tosses?
Yeah, I can do some throws for sure.
Or like, do you like to work those underhooks to take in the back, or like, what are you looking for?
Honestly, I'm trying to like just get some good positions and just wear on people and kind of take them out of there. But my underhooks were always really good. I get to leg a lot from an underhook.
Okay, so you're getting an underhook and just drop into a single?
Yeah,
and then
throw
go maybe
by
into
to
a double?
double leg. I had a good inside single.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, but you like, and then like a lot of like good wrestling just kind of comes down to like basic positions done really well.
Mm-hmm.
So like front headlock became like a key position. Like you have to score if you get someone a front headlock.
Yeah.
And you like don't make a lot of mistakes. So I think it was like honing in on little things versus like having one go-to move. Like you just like kind of like cut away all your mistakes. That when you don't make any mistakes.
Did Roman pin his dude?
Yeah, he did.
Was it the dude shot in right for the single, and then he just jumped into the cradle?
Yeah.
And I've seen you cradle guys in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, and it actually works really well. So like the cradle in jiu-jitsu, I'm starting to like put it all together a little bit.
Yeah. Where are you gonna like turn for submission from the cradle? What are you looking for?
I saw something. I mean, that Instagram jiu-jitsu is like somehow my phone knows that I'm into jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
So like I seen one thing where they cradle, pass the leg, put the leg on the outside, and kind of like cook the dude for a little bit.
Yeah.
Just kind of just like make him suffer, and then just take the back. So.
Especially because I could feel like nobody in jiu-jitsu is getting cradled, so I could see that being a position where they start to freak out.
Yeah, I
You know
think
what
they're
mean? It's
not
like-
used to it too. So
No.
there's a lot of things like once more wrestlers get into it and like some of the content for wrestling improves for jiu-jitsu, I think they're going to see like more and more changes and developments, because like I see like some of the Instagram videos for wrestling and jiu-jitsu, and I'm like, dude, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like there's some crazy moves out there. These people who are showing technique, when I'm like, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
But
I could see if you could get like a knee on belly with the cradle and really cranking
And
that
just crank
cradle
that
and
up.
yeah, I could see that being like
That would
a
suck.
pain tap. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If you really put that knee like more on like the solar plex.
yeah,
That shit would.
I'm going to have to try tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning.
Yeah, solar plex cradle somebody. And you know what? Another thing I think about it all the time, but I just don't have it down. I'd have to like really rep it. I like the super duck a lot. I love
fun.
seeing people super duck, and I'm like, I feel like I could work with jiu-jitsu, but at jiu-jitsu it's different because we stand different. You know what I mean? It's like the real spread out fingers and real like.
Yeah,
it's
they
probably
stand
easier to
straight
take us
up.
down because it's straight up and everything like that. But
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? Like when they stick down, it's immediately looking for that guillotine. So I don't like to lower my level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm looking for more like I really like the foot sweep right now, and I'm trying to work on that. And more so doing like an arm drag into the foot sweep, and I like the ankle pick a lot. So
Ankle
I'm trying
picks
to
are good,
almost,
yeah.
I'm almost trying to incorporate like the pushing on the head with the foot sweep, because I'm looking with my left leg's my strong. So I try to cup the foot behind that back heel, but from that arm drag, I'm trying to transition and like keep this on the back left elbow and almost cup the right side of their head because I found when I'm trying to foot sweep people, and I don't like if I don't have the momentum off of either pulling them from the drag or on the other side of their head, it's almost like an ankle pick. If I just grab the ankle and I'm not like pushing on their head, they're not going over.
Yeah, and foot sweep's a lot about timing too. Like you get their feet kind of get close together, you can take them both out. And, like,
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of stuff, and like a lot of those moves look pretty cool too. So like the
Yeah.
other dude, I like to think that like I like to start on my feet, because I feel like I can kind of demoralize them if I can do something cool to them. Like they won't be as confident going into it. Like if they start on their butt, I'm like, oh man, here we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting better. I mean, in jiu-jitsu is cool too because I like being like a beginner again.
Yes.
Because like you get to start over and you get to make mistakes and you become an athlete again.
Yeah.
And like just learning, the learning process and growing is a lot of fun.
Yeah, you're not a beginner though as a wrestler. Everybody that knows jiu-jitsu knows like if you come in as like as with a wrestling base in general, you're like a blue belt. But a really, really good wrestling base, I feel like you're like a pretty good blue belt. You know what I mean?
I feel like a lot of those blue belts in there, I can like a lot of blue belts. I feel like I can take out.
Yeah.
Once they get to purple, then they get real tricky, and I'm like, these dudes got some magic in them.
Magic. They start grabbing feet. You know what I mean?
The leg locks, I'm lost there, but I'm learning.
Yeah. You start getting entangled with different things like that. Super Ducks, things like that. Roman Bravo, Bo Nickel. He was at Penn State.
Yep.
And I think he fights tonight.
He fights. He's up and coming on a card soon. I don't know if it's UFC.
He fights tonight. But what's crazy, he's 3-0. It looks like his UFC record or his professional record in general. And what's crazy is he's dating a girl from my high school, I believe, or they're engaged. And you know what? Actually, it's next week, I think.
Yeah, I know he's on the main card over there.
You know what? Maybe it's not even next week. Maybe it's UFC 284 or further out. I know he's fighting UFC because I saw it on here.
Yeah, I just ran through all the UFC cards for the next like month or two.
Yeah, that's like okay. So he's actually way out. He's March 4th, but he's on a big card, dude.
Yeah,
he's on
like the third
John
fight.
Jones' card.
Yeah,
that's insane. I mean, he's gonna get paid. But what I saw a statistic that was like 90% of UFC champions have a wrestling background.
Yeah, I think I've seen the same thing where they had like a bunch of these champions all lined up that were like wrestlers. And
yes.
Like, I mean, all the Russians now are like kind of taking over. Like they're just showing how important like that control and that wrestling is.
Dude, and that's something that I kind of like in my game if I can is kind of like that triangle over the knees when you take somebody, you know what I'm talking about, where you take them down and you just suck in their knees in between their legs.
Like a mermaid.
Yeah, Khabib. I mean, you saw Khabib do it all. It's like once if somebody does that to me and they're really powerful, it's like, oh shit, dude.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to my back. That way, you know, they don't take my back. You know what I mean?
They got the Dagestani handcuff or the handcuff too, where they get your arm behind your back and they kind of cup it, and so you can't post up. I like that one a lot.
Dude, I remember when I first started in insurance, there was my partner in Pittsburgh. His office has a full mat room, so he's got a full mat room in his office. And this dude, 240 at least, and he wrestled in high school. And we're messing around. He was my manager. You know what I mean? I'm 18. He's like 35, and takes me down, and he double hands by. I was like, oh my god, it was so and just completely obliterated, hammered me, dude.
Yeah, just
destroyed me. But he didn't do jiu-jitsu, just fucking like bitch choked me. So, but it was insane. But I've always been around the wrestling, been around the jiu-jitsu now for probably 3 years now. So, but training hardcore jiu-jitsu probably a year and a half, 2 years. 10th Planet Lombard's been definitely insane. I got another guy, Alex Seaver, I train in the gi with, and I actually did a couple wrestling lessons / jiu-jitsu with Ricardo Lamas, and he was a contender. He guillotined Charles Oliveira.
Yeah, he was out of Top Notch, right?
I think so. I can't recall specifically, but I know he owns a UFC gym in Naperville, I think now. And he's a hardcore like bulldog type of wrestler,
good.
dude. I think he wrestled D3 college.
I'm
I want to say D3, D2, but solid.
I think he fought Max Holloway because they were the ones that were like,
you know what?
Right there.
Yeah, I think that's exactly that. Now, where did you go your college career? Where'd you go?
I went to Oregon State University.
Okay, now that's D1?
Yep.
Okay, so, and then did you wrestle all 4 years there?
Yeah, I did 5. We did the redshirt year, and then 4 after that, but yeah.
How'd that go?
It was good. I had some tough competition. The guy who was in front of me at the time was a 2-time All-American.
Yeah.
Ronnie Bresser, so he was real good. And then the dude above him at 133, Joey Palmer, was a couple-time NCAA qualifier. Took 3rd at the U.S. Open. Real good. So I was kind of behind the 8 ball there, but I was able to start for a year.
Yeah.
Start for 2 years, I guess.
Was college wrestling, like training and practices, was that harder than high school?
Kind of. My high school, I feel like we
treated it like college.
I feel like we treated it like college and the highest level. So I feel like it was harder. But I think when you get to college, there's a lot more to do. Like there's a lot of distractions.
Yeah.
The people in the room are better. And, you have a lot of schoolwork. So it's like all of that combined as a student athlete makes it college a lot harder, I think.
Yeah.
But I loved it, and I was able to, compete the highest level. I was able to, place at the Midlands tournament, win a couple tournaments here and there, beat some ranked kids. So like, I was doing pretty well for a while. Ended up getting hurt. I messed my ankle up pretty bad. So then I was out for like a year, and then senior year just finished up. But I got a lot of respect for anyone that just finishes college wrestling with
Yeah.
because I mean, a lot of people, they'll walk on or they'll do it for 2 years or
Yeah.
But like finishing it, I think is important.
How'd you hurt the ankle?
Just posted on it, rolled it through. I think they said I sprained every ligament in my foot or something crazy. I don't even know.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah, it was not cool.
Yeah, that's disgusting. So after college, how long you been out of college now?
I've been out of college since 2019, so 4 years.
4 years. So what all have you been doing after college now?
So after college, I got a graduate assistant position at University of Cumberlands, which we were the top-ranked NAI or a top-ranked NAIA school. We were
Okay.
like fifth when I got there, fourth. So they paid for my grad school there. Able to work and start coaching, so I was able to coach over there and then still train. I was still trying to compete at like the senior level.
Okay.
So that's like, like Olympic level, all that stuff. So I was still trying to compete there. After that, finished my graduate degree over there and then got a job coaching at Aurora University, started that program. And then I competed one more time, did the U.S. Open, took 7th place there, and kind of put a nail in my college or my competitive career for wrestling. Kind of just finished up. I mean, I was losing to all the guys who were training full-time at like the WCAP program, so it's the World Class Athlete program.
Okay.
So they train for the U.S. Army,
Okay.
and they just get, like, that's all they do is they just train. So
Yeah.
those were the people I was losing to, so I was like, I either got to join the Army and keep wrestling, or it's kind of time to call it.
So why are they training for? Is there for the Army wrestling team?
Yeah, so there's like a program called WCAP, right? And
Okay.
so it's World Class Athlete Program.
Okay.
And that's what they do. Like they are, they serve for the U.S. Army or the military, but they
Just
train.
wrestle all the time.
Yeah.
Is there anything that they try to compete with the wrestling or?
I mean, yeah, they compete all the. So like they
Yeah.
compete and like represent. Like a lot of them represent like the U.S.
Who do you think is the greatest wrestler right now?
The greatest wrestler right now, it's got to be Jordan Burroughs.
Now, hasn't he lost to Dake?
Yeah, but he competes at the. I think when the pressure's on and when it's like time to compete at the world level, I think he has a better style for the world level. I feel like they can't.
What's that? Is it just the blast double?
I mean, he's just like so good at it, and then he also cuts angles really well. Like his head blocking system is really good, and I feel like no one can stop it. So like, he might lose to Dake here and there. I mean, he's lost to him just that one time, but
Has he beat Dake?
yes, I think so. Yeah, he beat him before, but then I think most recently he's lost. But,
Okay.
But I mean, they go back and forth, and I mean, it's awesome to have like such a good U.S. team right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Dake's a killer. David Taylor's a killer. Thomas Gilman is a killer.
Is David Taylor? I think he's out of Pennsylvania too, right?
Mhm.
Who's the older black dude that's also like got a lot of?
Oh, Jaden Cox.
Yeah, Jaden Cox.
Yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah, he's like a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, so he's like a multiple-time world Olympic medalist. So
Yeah.
the U.S. is like we're really good right now. So that's really awesome to see and be like kind of just able to see that.
Now, do you think over time, like Russia, Dagestan might start catching up?
I think over time, Russia in general has been the superpower.
Yeah.
And I think the thing about Russia is like they're so deep. Like they're one guy. There might be 6 other guys that are just as good as him. Whereas like in the U.S. we have like one clear cut kind of guy.
Yeah.
So I think we still lose to Russia in like the overall team race and stuff, but we beat like we're competing, so that's cool.
Do you think there's anybody coming up that's going to start to join like the name and the ranks of like Jordan Burroughs and?
I mean, it'd be cool to see Spencer Lee enter his freestyle career.
Both his knees though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if homie can deal with it, but
Yeah.
if he chooses to and decides to, I'm sure he can win.
Who was the
matches.
big black dude, more like light skin that do the backflips, but he was more of like a heavyweight? And I want to say,
Yeah, he's an animal.
Is he going to the WWE or?
I don't know. I think so, but I mean, he's so like.
I've never
he's
seen
so
somebody
good.
like that's one of those people genetically where you just like seeing him do backflips and shit like that. It's like,
Yeah, he gets after it.
imagine him coming to roll with some of these guys.
Oh, it would be a stomping.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
anything he chooses to do, he's just going to be good at it. But I mean, there's a reason he got to where he is, so I'm sure he busts his ass when he gets the chance.
Yes. I'm trying to think of this wrestler I'm trying to get on the podcast. He had a crazy takedown. It's Dap DeShazar Jr. DeShazer. I don't know if you know this guy.
Yeah.
Crazy takedown.
Yeah,
I'd
Daniel
seen
DeShazer?
Yeah, just this huge double leg he had at one of his. Actually, I think this is it right here.
Some, like, wrestling highlights in the clip, too, so it's, like,
You remember this?
really
Hopefully it
tight.
pops up.
Bro, that video of you slamming that kid on his head.
So I actually wrestled his little brother
Yeah?
at nationals.
Was his little brother as good?
Oh. Yeah, his little brother's stud. That was
Dude.
messed up. He just launched, dude.
Yeah, that takedown was insane. I actually got launched by a Greco dude. I don't know if you've wrestled him. His name's Beck Sultan. So looks here, it's like, hey, my positioning doesn't look too
Okay.
horrible. That's me in the red.
Oh, damn.
Immediately, like,
The choke slam.
dude, I could not figure out this Greco style of, and because it just makes sense of like, I don't know, he'd like sink in good underhooks and just sink his hips beneath me. It's like, okay, like how am I letting this happen? Because it's like I like know this is gonna happen. But
Yeah,
I don't,
positioning is super key, and I love Greco. That was like my favorite.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now the difference between Greco and freestyle.
You can't touch the legs in Greco.
Okay.
So it's all upper body, all throws.
But you're trying to get their legs to go over your head, right?
yeah, you just want to put them on their back.
Okay.
And then high velocity throws reward more points.
Now, which one gives you a bunch of points when their like feet go over your head?
Like a 5.
Yeah.
So that's called like just like any 5-point throw. It's just like a high velocity.
Is that
throw.
Greco style or is that freestyle?
Either one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, which is the one where if you spin them on the ground, you get a significant?
Both of those.
Oh, both.
Yeah.
Like if you spin them on the ground, you get a
Yeah.
bonus.
So every time you expose their back, you'll get points.
Okay. And usually guys will it's really like they grab their legs and spin them.
Yeah. There's like the leg lace and then gut
Yeah.
wrenches and all that.
Yeah.
Yep.
It looks like an alligator roll.
Yeah. Basically.
It just looks embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I was talking to somebody one time about like, we were talking about losing, and they're like, I think they were talking about either soccer or football, like losing in soccer and football. Like, yeah, that sucks. And I was like, it's just kind of embarrassing. Like, you know, your parents are in the stands, like, you know, there's girls watching, and like your legs folded over your head, and you're upside down in like a leotard.
Yes.
So
dude.
that sucks with wrestling.
Yeah,
When
it's
you lose
way
there,
more
that's
emasculating.
brutal. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. You ever leg cradle anybody?
I don't know if I've ever leg cradled somebody, but I mean, I feel like I probably could.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to jujitsu.
Jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
I could see you easily leg cradling, but I didn't know like professionally if you ever leg cradled anybody in your.
Nah.
Have you ever seen it done like at a high level?
Not at a high. Oh yeah, I've seen it like maybe not Division 1, but I've seen it in college.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Holy shit! I
yeah.
feel like that would be.
There's
like,
levels to it. So like even like a lot of people like go to Division 1, but then even there's levels. Like there's All
Yeah.
Americans, there's national champions, there's guys that just walked on the team to be a part of it, and there's guys that are trying for a spot. Like there's always a level to something.
yeah, absolutely. And then who do you think is the best person you've ever wrestled?
So I've wrestled 4 Olympians in my life. So Thomas Gilman, he just took silver at the Olympics and he's a world champ.
For America?
Yeah.
Wow.
So he wrestled at University of Iowa, and he trains at Penn State now. So he's probably the best kid I've wrestled.
Yeah.
I wrestled Ildar Havizov this last April, and he's the guy for the U.S. right now. And he wins matches overseas, so he's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those two are pretty
Thomas, do you think it was strength and technique? Like, what do you when
Yeah,
you go against
he's-
him? Like, what was
He
it
was like the strongest kid I've ever wrestled for sure, but he's just also like really good, and he just gets to his positions, like no matter what. Like he's gonna go out there and he's gonna get where he wants to be, and he doesn't really care if you kind of stop it or whatever. Like he's gonna try to get there, and he's gonna keep relentlessly trying to attack. So I thought that was really good.
Who beat him for gold?
One of the Russians.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a close match though.
Yeah.
Like he just got caught in the last couple seconds, but
Yeah. What's his like go-to style?
he does like a head pull single.
Wow.
But he just like he puts his hands on you, and you're like, this dude's for real. So he's just real aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? It reminds me of Vision Quest.
Yeah.
That motherfucker. What was that?
Shoop?
Shoop?
Yeah.
d-
Carrying the tree.
Carrying the
Yeah.
tree. I can remember that scene. I don't know if that's like a wrestling program's like ritual, if every wrestling program does that, but we had to like watch that.
I
Like,
made my college kids watch that. I was like, we're watching Vision Quest.
yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure it's like every part of every wrestling program where it's like you gotta watch it at least
Yeah.
once. And
It's so silly too. Everyone just does only lat drops and headlocks during the whole movie.
yeah. And I've been thinking, I'm like, dude, this shit does not work.
Yeah.
Shit.
Maybe
But
in
it's
the 80s.
yeah, I know. And that's why I like thinking back to like Arkansas when I was a good wrestler, and I would just head toss everybody, and then I try to head toss somebody in Pennsylvania, and they'd step in front and like,
Yeah.
hip toss me or something. And
Like,
I'd
you
be
had
like,
levels to it.
yeah, and I'm like, oh my god. Or I'd head toss somebody, and I'd be too far up on the head, and they'd scoop out, and you know what I mean. My back would be exposed.
Yeah.
So definitely levels. You know, so what's the next 5-10 years look like for you?
For me, so right now I work for my family. We have a logistics company for concerts.
Yep.
So now I've been working for them for like 3 months now. So I'm excited to transition everything I've learned from wrestling into business now. So
Yeah.
like it's been my whole life since I was 9, 10 years old. It's been wrestling. education wrestling. Like that's
Yeah.
school and wrestling for the last high school, middle school, college, graduate school.
Yeah.
So now it's into business. So it's gonna be exciting to try and transition that. And then I'm looking to keep doing jiu-jitsu. I love
How long you been doing it now? A couple months?
yeah.
Yeah. What brought you to 10th Planet?
I just typed in best jiu-jitsu gyms in
Yeah.
the area, and they popped up, and I knew 10th Planet well enough to.
Yeah.
I was like fluent in the conversation of jiu-jitsu even before doing it. Like I understood. I have some buddies that do it, so. Yeah, I really like it. It's a lot of fun, so I'm gonna keep trying to do that, and then maybe compete here whenever the coaches think I'm ready.
Yeah.
But
What's the logistics look like for the concerts?
so we just do like tour managers like talk to us and try to get like their artists to travel around the country. We just kind of work with them and we work with all of our truck drivers to kind of like maneuver them and just kind of make their tours happen.
Yeah. So you enjoy it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. I think right now, like obviously winter is not a lot of concerts.
Yeah.
So once summer starts, I think all the concerts are gonna start,
Pick up.
and then I'm gonna get to really see like the business side of it and like get to experience like the part that I'm excited for. So
Cool. Now, what about the Jamaica National Wrestling?
yeah, so one of my athletes from the school that I was coaching at in Kentucky, he was Jamaican descent. His name's Aaron Johnson.
Okay.
He's a 3-time NAI All-American, so he's stud for sure, heavyweight. But he was telling me he's Jamaican descent, and I was like, hey man, like you can wrestle for Jamaica's team. He's like, I've actually always thought about that. And so then we kind of just like got the cogs moving that direction, and then worked with the Jamaican Olympic Association, and now we have like 5-6 wrestlers and a bunch more coming up. And so we were able to travel to World Championships in Serbia a few years ago. We were able to go to New York and compete in the Bill Farrell, which is one of America's top tournaments. We were able to go to Dominican Republic for the Caribbean Games, to Canada for the Commonwealth Games. He was in England, or the Canadian Championship. And then he was in England for the Commonwealth Games. Then we're going to be going to the Pan Am Championships in Argentina, and we'll go back to Serbia for World Championships, and I think to Panama for the Caribbean Games. So
Now, have you gone to Jamaica?
I haven't been to Jamaica yet, but we want to do a training phase out there to
Yeah.
get used to like the community and everything.
Yeah.
But it's been a really cool experience, and there's a bunch more guys. There's Jordan Mitchell in Life University, Jabari Campbell down in Florida, Sierra Brownton in Iowa, and a bunch more. Theron Green, who's out of Jamaica, and so there's a bunch more kids coming up. So it's been a really cool experience, and like we're just trying to grow that, and just get Jamaica wrestling out there. There's a bunch more people that have Jamaican descent that I think they didn't know there was Jamaican wrestling that they could wrestle for.
Yeah.
So now, like, we're just kind of getting out there through social media and just trying to, like, raise funding whenever we can and just kind of blow that up and then help these guys compete international and then travel the world. So,
Yeah, that's fire.
yeah, it's been crazy.
Yeah, bro, that's really fire. Let me check my notes. See if there's anything I'm missing on that I want to talk on. The wrestling practices. I got to do a couple wrestling one-on-ones with you.
I got you.
I was doing some with this huge kid. Fucking massive. I don't even think it was beneficial for me. Motherfucker's huge. But he wrestled, I think, like D2 or maybe it's Pitt Johnstown.
Okay.
And they got a really, really good program. You know what I mean? I don't know, like, if you win, like, would it be national? If you're a national champion at a D2 or D3 school, if you still have the same respect from, like, the wrestling programs out there that wrestle
a
D1.
national champ is a national champ, so.
Yeah, I have no idea. You know what I mean? Because it's that lower. But I'm trying to see some of the things we worked on, and I try to incorporate it. We're gonna go over it because I feel like it could help me with my jiu-jitsu game, and that's 15 seconds, and I'll go to the next one. But like, I don't even know if it completely shows everything in there. But you see how big he is.
Yeah, he's big.
And we rolled too.
That's a big boy.
Yeah, and so and that's like the way I think he wrestled at like this size. This shit like never.
Heavyweight.
I think we're just going over shucks. This just looks like a fucking shuck. But I don't know if there's like just different styles of like.
I think different, like that's kind of what I was saying earlier about like the best like weight to wrestle is like some of those big guys have some funny techniques for sure. But
Yeah.
like, big guy wrestling is a lot different than little guy wrestling. So.
Oh my god. But I think I like the concept of sweeping and putting individuals down because I'm thinking strategically for jiu-jitsu, if I'm shooting, what are the odds of me like scrambling? Opposed to if I'm sweeping, what are the odds of me like past their guard and getting like a knee on belly or top mount? And I feel like my odds are way higher if I'm sweeping or using some type of like judo-styled toss. But I think the setups and the positioning, wrestling provides probably the best entries and setups.
Yeah, I like being able to work like I tell everybody at jiu-jitsu, I'm like, hey man, you help me with jiu-jitsu, I'll help you with wrestling.
Yeah.
So I think being able to combine those and like really figure out what are the best attacks, because like everyone wants to do like super duck or like again foot sweep and
Yeah,
stuff.
that's
So,
me.
like,
Let's do the coolest
safe.
move.
They are the cool moves for sure, but like
Yeah.
and they're safe too. But like I want to find like the most effective ways to get to side control.
Yes.
The most effective way to just take someone back and then get to a submission. Because
Yeah, exactly.
in a perfect world, I would say this in wrestling too. I'm trying to get on the mat and off the mat as fast as possible.
Yes. Yes.
So if I can get the takedown, take your back, like tap you out,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
So I don't want to play the whole like, especially with wrestling when people are more experienced in jiu-jitsu. I'm not trying to play the chess match with them and like eventually like draw the match out and then lose because of like an ankle lock or something. I'm trying to get out there and bring that like wrestling aggressiveness.
Yeah.
Like a lot of jiu-jitsu like people, they don't really have that. Like it's very like calm. Again,
Yeah,
like a
it's like
match.
chess, dude.
Yeah.
It's like chess, and that's
Which is cool, and I think that's important too. But it's also like if I can go out there and just like
yeah,
club, single leg, take the back, tap
Yeah.
you out, I'm gonna do that.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. What are your hobbies outside of like work and jujitsu?
So I mean, jiu-jitsu takes a lot of time for sure. I mean,
Yeah, I
there's
know.
like 3-hour classes, but I'll do that, and I like to keep it active. I'll go lift and then go out in the. I guess Illinois is not so much for like traveling outside of like
Yeah,
your house in the winter and stuff, but I go snowboarding a bunch in Colorado. Yeah, so just I try to keep it active, go outside and do stuff. But
Yeah.
I mean that's kind of it. Honestly, like there's only so many hours in a day,
yeah, true.
but.
Are you big into any food, movies,
Yeah, I
TV
mean,
shows, anything like that?
I don't watch too much TV or movies
Yeah.
and stuff. I feel like I get home at like 9:30,
Yeah,
and then it's
tired
like,
from all the
time
wrestling,
for bed. Yeah,
jiu-jitsu. Yeah,
but I mean to do that, and then obviously I love food and everything for sure. I think wrestling caused me to love food even more.
I hear that with fighters
Yeah.
in wrestling.
I'm
and
like
with-
not picky at all. Like,
Yeah.
nothing.
See, with me only like I can think back of cutting weight my 8th grade year, and like it wasn't horrible, but I can remember like not eating. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
a day of not, and I remember sleeping in a trash bag.
Yeah,
You know, and
Classic.
trash and wearing a trash bag at school
Yeah.
underneath, and I'm just like, now I think back like that would be disgusting. Just
It's
sweaty
so
nuts
gross.
all day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I used to do
Like,
that, and then people would be like, "Are you like why are you crinkling?" And
Yeah.
I'd have like a garbage bag on. I'd be
Well, I
don't
think
know,
they
leave
like
me alone.
changed the rules where like you can't, because I remember being in 8th grade and they were telling me like, hey, bro, you can't.
I don't think
really
you've ever been allowed to do that in like
Yeah.
high school or middle school, but I mean, kids do it. but
Yeah, it's- you're like wrestlers have this mentality. Like, I think there's one thing everybody should do. It's like, yeah, you'll hear like the jujitsu. I think everyone should wrestle a year or two. You know, because it just
Yeah.
develops this mentality of like, fuck you, I'm gonna get this shit done. Like
Yeah.
it develops this backbone that the world is really missing right now. It's like that's one reason. Another reason I don't have like road rage. You know what I mean? It's like I've been like double legged by somebody. What are you, 135,
yeah,
150?
140, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I've had some wrestling coaches that are 140 pounds, and there's no doubt in my mind they would destroy like a 400-pound
Yeah.
they would give a gorilla a hard time. I feel like a gorilla could step out and be like, I don't know who my
we'll
money's
see,
on.
yeah.
You know, if he gets mad, you know, it's like I don't know. So that's like it's such a humbling sport, and the thing with life is like if you don't get humbled, you know, and you let that ego run wild, you might run into the wrong person.
Yeah.
And they might humble you in a way that you just never recover from. Like
Yeah.
that's your last day.
I love that about wrestling and jiu-jitsu too. Like that's kind of what I was saying. Like starting over again,
Oh,
jiu-jitsu
yeah.
is great because you
So
get humble.
humbling.
It's like you come in with this big ego and stuff, and like I try not to have an ego, but like you
Yeah.
got a little bit of it no matter
Yeah,
what.
bro,
So
you
you come
D1
in
wrestler.
and you get tapped out by everyone. Like
Yes.
small children, like
Yeah.
little girls, like dudes who just started. And you're like,
Yeah.
man, like what?
Old
am I good?
dudes,
Yeah, old
yeah.
dudes for sure. Old dudes are
fat
dangerous,
dudes, and it'd be like, it'd be like, holy shit, dude.
But like the thing with jiu-jitsu and wrestling is like you get out what you put in, and I
Yes.
think that translates really well into the rest of the world. Like
Yeah.
it kind of shows like things aren't going to be given to you. Like, did you show up to morning practice?
Yeah.
Did you put in 3 hours of work every day? Like, are you doing stuff extra when no one's looking?
Yeah.
And I think that translates really well into everything else in life. Like, I
Mhm.
think those are good metaphors and like just good training habits to have. Like
Yeah.
being able to train, lose, and then still come up the next day.
Absolutely. What was your recovery process like to just sustain the schedule? And-
So I liked, eating healthy is pretty key. I think people like kind of misread that. Like you can work out super hard and then like eat a cheeseburger and you're not going to recover as well.
Yeah.
Versus, like if you had like good food and like, I'll take like BCAAs and stuff, but then like sleep is a huge recovery. Like making
Absolutely.
sure you're not messing around on your phone until midnight.
yeah.
I loved ice baths and saunas.
Yeah. Now, are you scared? I'll not say scared, but like some fighters I'll hear or wrestlers they'll talk about like almost like PTSD. I got another kid that wrestled in high school. in my company, and he won't do saunas because he did so
Yeah.
much sauna work.
We used them like for recovery, right? So like we would like after practice, you get in the sauna and you stretch and like
Yeah, so
you
he used
like,
it for
do some
weight
jump
cut.
ropes. Yeah, I didn't like doing it for weight cuts and like drying myself out. Like
Yeah,
I would just be really like smart with my weight cuts. Like I would diet to a certain point where I had everything like measured out, and then like my last workout would be a big cut.
Yeah.
But, like the sauna, I wasn't like putting myself through hell in there. Like I was just using it to like feel good, and like
yeah,
we used to do this thing at Oregon too. We'd get in the sauna with like a thing of like hot tea,
yeah.
and like you just sit there and like sip tea in the sauna. Like all the foreigners, like they'll hop in the sauna like it's nothing, and like they use it for recovery.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
To activate like heat shock proteins in your body to increase
Yes.
like your ability to recover. So
And did you ever do any like the bath?
I've done the hot bath for
hot
sure.
bath. Now,
Yeah.
how does that? What do you do in a hot? Is it just a hot bath, literally?
Yeah, so you just like put like really hot water. I know some people put Epsom salt in it.
Yeah.
But you just put like hot water, and you sit in the bath for 20, 30 minutes, and keep your wrists and ankles under the water, and you just like sweat a lot.
Yeah.
So like I did it for the U.S. Open. I cut to 132. I walk around like 148, 150,
Yeah.
and so like I was like doing it really smart. And then that last like 2-3 pounds, I was like, man, I'm done. Like I don't want to. I can't run anymore. Like I don't want to put on the plastics. So I'm good. So like hopped in the bath. Got everything underneath water. Just sat there for 20 minutes. Put on music 30 minutes, and then hopped out and I lost like 4.5 pounds.
Fuck.
So it's like it's pretty crazy. I don't know all the science behind it.
Yeah.
But it's not really the best thing to do. But sometimes you just don't want to run anymore.
Dude, some of these fighters sometimes, like when I look at them, like, dude, that's kind of a scary
Yeah,
thing.
they be cutting some weight.
Yeah, bro. They gotta have like, and you'll hear like I'll hear Rogan talk about like they should have like a water type of measurement system in regard to like cutting weight, where there's like a
Yeah.
healthy amount of water in your system.
Yeah.
That way you don't put yourself in a position where you could potentially have neurological damage. or
Yeah,
just-
because even like when you cut all that water out, I think what's surrounding your brain, like the water leaves that area, so then you're more susceptible for concussions and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So it's like not healthy, but at the same time, like people are always gonna cut weight.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be hard to stop that.
Now, as soon as you made weight, what was your go-to?
I just so I'd always get like a Smart Water, and like I liked just some Gatorade, and then I really liked I just like a half bagel sandwich. I just thought
I
that
feel
was
like
so
every
good,
wrestler
yeah.
does big because I
Bagel
immediately
sandwich is so
I
good.
still will sometimes I'll go on like binges of just bagel and cream cheese or bagel with peanut butter and a little bit of honey or
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
something. And it's
honey
like,
was great.
bro, we would smash just a half bagel, cream cheese, peanut butter, honey. Like I keep honey everywhere.
Yeah, and then I liked it's like the tomato basil wheat thins.
Yeah.
Those are so good.
Yeah.
But every time after weigh-ins, you put like the tomato basil wheat thins in your sandwich.
Yeah.
Lights out.
Yeah. That's fire.
But you try to keep it light because you got to wrestle. Like the thing with college wrestling, and high school too, is like you wrestle 1 hour after you weigh in.
Oh, okay.
So you can't be going. You don't have the night before.
Yeah,
so that
see,
kinda sucks.
I remember making weight for some tournaments, and like you might not wrestle for 4 or 5 hours, so you could
Yeah.
just fucking chow.
Especially
chow,
I
rest.
wrestled 125, so I was like their first match.
Oh yeah.
So like that I hated that because like I didn't ever feel good making 125. I was
Yeah.
coming from like 150.
Oh yeah.
So like I would just like,
The heavyweights probably loved it.
oh yeah, they're great. They're chilling.
Yeah, they probably loved that.
But I love traveling with my current Jamaican wrestler. He's a heavyweight. So everywhere we go, I'm like, man, this is awesome. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't have to cut weight. Like we go explore all the food options in whatever country you're in.
Yeah,
So that's a lot of fun.
yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Dope, bro. So do you do one-on-one training for wrestling?
Yeah, I mean, so I was coaching at Aurora University, so I do private lessons with kids over there a lot. And then I've had a lot of people ask me about private lessons, so maybe I'll talk to Omar and try to figure something
Okay.
out. But
Yeah, I don't want to broadcast it if you're not.
No, let's do it, yeah.
Cool. So you can hit up Kegan
Kagan.
for private lessons, and you can find him on social media.
Yep.
And what's the social media?
Just Kagan's World.
Kegan's World. Maybe spell it.
KEGANS World.
Dope. So anything else you want to broadcast? Shout out.
Nah, just like, yeah, everyone stay up to date on Jamaica wrestling. Come check out 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, and yeah, let's grow the sport. Let's grow wrestling and jiu-jitsu, and then, yeah, let's figure it out.
Who's your favorite UFC fighter?
I love Max Holloway.
Max Holloway.
Yeah, he's not a wrestler, but my man just gets after it.
Bro, he gets
I
after it.
respect
You got to respect his heart.
Yeah.
Got to respect his heart. Well, that's it. Another Adversity Kings episode. We got Kegan Calkins, absolute phenomenal wrestler. This was a great time. It went by quick. Looks like we dropped 50 minutes an hour. So
That's crazy.
solid job, brother. Excited to. I'll see you tomorrow morning probably
Yes,
for a little
sir.
bit. Cool.
Yep.
All right, brother.
Appreciate it.